As president of St. John's College, I'm calling the college together for the 327th session in Annapolis, Maryland. Please be seated. In a moment, we will begin today's exercises with our undergraduate class of 2026. Each will come forward to sign the college register with the registrar and receive a gift, Euclid's Elements from the Assistant Dean. These gifts have been offered by the St. John's College Dean's Office. I ask that as each student crosses the stage, you withhold your enthusiasm and applause and do all of that at the end. There will be time for more formal welcome at the closing.
Will the class of 2026 please rise? Mr. Dean, I present the class of 2026.
Madam President, these individuals desire to be made members of St. John's College. They've given evidence of their good character and their ability to undertake the tasks which we have set for them.
Mr. Dean, will you present them in the presence of the faculty and in witness of the whole college in order that they may complete their matriculation by signing the college register?
Finley Lewis Acker, Brooklyn, New York. Abhi Adhikari, Kathmandu, Nepal. Semyon Adrushenko, Domodedovo, Russia. Arya Satya Anindita, Surabaya, Indonesia. Carlos Eduardo Aspiaga, New Canaan, Connecticut. Shika Germain Asukulu, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Addison Jane Bartley, Indianapolis, Indiana. Curtis Mitchell Blakely, Trumbull, Connecticut. Isaac James Boone, North Beach, Maryland. Reagan M. Bottomley, Louisville, Kentucky. Valerie Olbenario Brady, Columbia, Maryland. Avery Grace Bravo, Roanoke, Virginia. Quinlan N. Bright, Bracebridge, Canada. Jasper Jefferson Birch, Eldersburg, Maryland. Jennings Franklin Caldwell, Henrico, Virginia. Joshua William Carroll, Agoura Hills, California. Itzeli Natalie Casarubias, Washington, District of Columbia. Farron Shibalba Cifuentes, Easton, Maryland. Valerie Grace Cohen, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Alexander John Cronin, South Pasadena, California. John Patrick Cronin, Spring Hope, North Carolina. Kalith Kai Cushman, Kernville, California. Anna Kasari Dayton, Monterey, California. Sophia Marie DeRico, Annapolis, Maryland. Maya Wren Dickerson, Bozeman, Montana. Max Calvin Dreyfus, Montclair, New Jersey. Ian James Duane, Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Lucy Eleanor Dugan, Little Rock, Arkansas. Olive Willow Elliott, Saugerties, New York. Tanaquil Leah Yeltsoff, Arlington, Virginia. George Wellington Eustace, New York, New York. Elliot Tokar Feldman, Bronx, New York. Cole Emery Kane Ferguson, Saratoga Springs, New York. Riley Kendall Ferver, Chesapeake Beach, Maryland. Joshua Daniel Flippo, Capitola, California. Vince Nikolai Ford, Lovettsville, Virginia. Coral Roman Frontini, Cleveland, Ohio. Kirk Davis Garner, Hanover, New Hampshire. Benjamin Parker Ginnabaugh, Mill Valley, California. Gabriel George Gomez, Granada Hills, California. Rory Good, Hempstead, Maryland. Cullen Wayne Graff, Bel Air, Maryland. Madison Eloise Groman, Port Republic, New Jersey. Amelia Ann Hall, Amsterdam, New York. Liam Lawlor Hansen, Washington, District of Columbia. Louise Hale Harden, Los Angeles, California. Victoria Ruth Harper, Fern Beach, Florida. Nicholas James Hu, San Leandro, California. Victoria Horseman, Calgary, Canada. Carter John Hustis, Brentwood, Tennessee. Lindsay Isabel Ermiter, St. Paul, Minnesota. Zach James Jansen, St. Augustine, Florida. Ensong Xiang Taoyuan, Taiwan. Daniel John, Bellevue, Washington. Sewee Jung, Hwaseong-si, Republic of Korea. Eden Lane Kameyer, Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Stephen Nicholas Kendall, Austin, Texas. Harrison Reed Kepner, Woodside, California. Vanessa Lowe Kiernan, Alpharetta, Georgia. Daniel M. Kim, Carrollton, Texas. Ethan Richard Kress, Westchester, Pennsylvania. Margaret Lily Lane, Pearland, Texas. Amy Lee, Fairfax, Virginia. Robert William LeBeau, Tampa, Florida. Camilla Abigail Lopez, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Claire Marie Lovell, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Zarlin Saul Lavelle, Frisco, Texas. Milena Grace McLaurin, San Francisco, California. Ekaterina Marchenko, Kaliningrad, Russia. Will Marchman, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dante LaCroix Marcotte, Arvada, Colorado. Anna Ruth Margules, Catonsville, Maryland. Paolo Madelius, White Plains, New York. Emerson William Meyer, San Francisco, California. Charles Joseph Miller, Pennacook, New Hampshire. Jungbin Moon, Seoul, Republic of Korea. Hannah Marie Moore, Cleves, Ohio. Brody Willem Moran, Cabot, Vermont. Damian Mathis Mosley, Brownsville, Texas. Bryn Scott Myers, Georgetown, Texas. Dean Yuen, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Basil Hope Nussbaum, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Adrian Lucas Oten, Goleta, California. Ian Michael O'Donnell, Northville, Michigan. Liam Dalton Olson, Baltimore, Maryland. Paz Daniela Ortiz Santamaria, Cusco, Peru. Jake Cadron Osborne McKenna, Edmonds, Washington. Holly Lee Palermo, Washington, District of Columbia. Alexandra Anya Paul, Bedford Hills, New York. Nazareth Perez, San Francisco, California. Cooper Moe Peterson, Black River Falls, Wisconsin. Sasha Gabrielle Rico Peterson, San Diego, California. Tamar Pinsky, Silver Spring, Maryland. Mariah Tiana Plummer, Clarksburg, Maryland. Avi Sol Pope, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Rade Alexander Popovich, Portland, Oregon. Angus Winston Preston, Las Vegas, Nevada. Abigail Pearl Pritchard, Loveland, Colorado. Lydia Emmanuel Quinn, Mannequin Sabbath, Virginia. Ryan Ross Raisi, San Francisco, California. Juliana Suseli Ramirez Ramirez, Tecunuman, Guatemala. Millie Catherine Ransohoff, Mount Airy, Maryland. Nathaniel David Rechtschaffen, Valhalla, New York. Lainey Rendelman, Scottsdale, Arizona. Wiley Jessup Robbins Thorne Thompson, Greenfield, Massachusetts. Ian Dennis Rosamond, Annandale, Virginia. Emil Alexander Sandberg, Chevy Chase, Maryland. Megan Grace Scally, Valhalla, New York. Max Schleien, Bethesda, Maryland. Keely Clemmer Schranz, Laguna Niguel, California. Ali Abdul Qadir Shamware, Asheville, North Carolina. Leah Deborah Shenderovich, West Hills, California. Chelsea Schultz Simons, Pittman, New Jersey. Zach Bryce, Highland Park, Illinois. Jameson Smith, Cumberland, Maine. Sydney Ava Solomon, Lake Huntington, New York. Biri de Souverain, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Molly James Sprout, Bend, Oregon. Peyton Elizabeth Stein, New York, New York. Samuel Stein Perlman, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Lizzie Tam Stewart Fetter, Concord, New Hampshire. Henry Ignatius Stockman, Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. Zine Elizabeth Straka, St. Louis, Missouri. Leish Suzair, Malé, Maldives. Luke Gregory Taylor, Durham, North Carolina. John Henry Teagan, St. Louis, Missouri. Shuyu Tian, Wuhan, China. Ishik Tutuncu, Istanbul, Turkey. Jack Jean DeHaan Van Drunen, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Polina Valtrowskaya, Polarny Zori, Russia. Melody Vuong, North Bergen, New Jersey. Helen Summerfield Wagner, Houston, Texas. Jack Gibson Webb, Snohomish, Washington. Emiliana Eva Whip, Centennial, Colorado. Liam Quim Whitney, Millersville, Pennsylvania. Alex Williams, Brooklyn, New York. Maya Page Wolf, Grove City, Ohio. Audrey Helligy Woods, Fountain Hills, Arizona. Eli Richard Zittler, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Will the new Graduate Institute students please stand? Madam Associate Dean, I present the newest members of the Graduate Institute.
Madam President, these individuals desire to be made members of the Graduate Institute of St. John's College. They have given evidence of their good character and their ability to undertake the tasks which we have set for them.
Madam Associate Dean, will you present them in the presence of the faculty and in witness of the whole college in order that they may complete their matriculation by signing the college register?
Brian William Batista Thomas, New York, New York, low residency. Ashley Vaughn Cohn, San Antonio, Texas, low residency. Michael Connors, Sydney, Australia. Jose Gabriel Coronado Flores, Guatemala City, Guatemala, low residency. Lauren Crone, Annapolis, Maryland. Dominic Villarin, Escorpose, Waldorf, Maryland. Andrew Hasser, Edgewater, Maryland. Damian Jungerman, Palm Bay, Florida. Stuart Kenny, Lincoln, Nebraska. Jonas Tegene Katsela, Alexandria, Virginia. Cy Kavanaugh McGeady, Annapolis, Maryland. Jonathan Peter McKinney, North Bay, Canada. Ben James Morgan, Washington, District of Columbia. Quinn Joseph Rifkin, East Aurora, New York. Gavin Tyler Robillard, Fairfax, Virginia. Sydney Leonard Rowe, Melbourne, Australia. Meredith Grace Sherman, Washington, District of Columbia. Jules Spies, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Luca Sudovich, Sydney, Australia. William Houston Taylor III, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Noah William Vecina, Fort Wayne, Indiana, low residency. Jennifer Ward, Charlestown, West Virginia, low residency. Gordon Robert Wilford, Brandywine, Maryland, low residency.
Thank you. Now it is time for applause, please. Good morning. I want to welcome the members of our faculty and the entire administrative team. I also want to welcome all of our upper class students who are joining us this morning, and families and friends. But my final and most special welcome is reserved to the class of 2026 and the new members of the Graduate Institute who are joining us today. Let me first make a sensible clothing announcement. Those of you who are still wearing jackets that you can take off, please feel free to do so, and feel free to don a hat. We don't need heat strokes or other kind of health issues this morning. It's really my honor and special pleasure to formally welcome all of you into the St. John's community. Now, welcome in Old English meant something like a desired guest. Well, you're much more than a desired guest. You're now a member of our community. You are today's students and tomorrow's alumni, lifelong members of the Johnny community. As it turns out, welcome guest literally means one whose coming suits another's will or wish. And we get a little closer here to the welcome I want to convey to all of you. You're here upon our collective wishes. You're an impressive group. Between the undergraduate class and the GI, you come from 5 different continents, 34 states in the United States and the District of Columbia. Now, the state of California did send us the most new Johnnies. Now, some of you aren't old enough to vote, and many of you aren't old enough to legally drink. And at the risk of being booed in the convocation speech, I have to tell you, don't try either if you don't fall into the respective category. Now, most of you starting your higher education journey with us, but of course, our Graduate Institute students already have an undergraduate degree. Now, you all differ in personal background. I couldn't help but notice also in hair color, families of origin, interests, and your aspirations. You already confirm what we keep on saying here. No two Johnnies are alike. And yet, together, we form a community of learners, of knowledge seekers, of educators. Now, telling are the books that you discussed in your essays. Some of you were entranced or perhaps repelled by dystopian worlds, such as those in The Giver or 1984. 2 of you seem to love chocolate, or at least Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And speaking at least for myself, I can assure you that you are in great company here of other chocolate lovers. A few of you seem to be big fans of Donna Tartt's The Secret History, which features murder and evil in a small college campus in New England. Now, two things to note. We were not the inspiration for that story. We're not in New England, and as much as we love our faculty, they do not choose who is in their class. Many of you like books whose first edition wasn't in English, from Virgil to Dostoevsky, from Garcia Marquez to Lao Tzu. Some of you wrote about program books. And here I want to give you a piece of advice. After that seminar night in which your book was the program text, I suggest you pull out your application essay and see how your thinking has changed already, how much deeper you see into the text and perhaps into yourself. Now, the truth is, none of us would be here without books. Books that allow us to escape into other worlds, into other people, into other times and places. Books that raise great questions about what it means to be human, to be a citizen, to be a worker. That raise questions about what it means to have free will or to forge a just war. We all love good books, and in your love of good books, and sometimes great books, that will just ripen here, and your taste will become also more discerning. We chose you to join us, and you accepted our invitation because what we saw in you is that you would thrive here, that you would learn, that you would grow as people. Already, you may have had some moments of doubt about this. You may have asked yourself, can I actually make it here? And if you haven't had that moment yet, there will be the moment where it will come. It will be the failed lab. It will be the evening with Aristotle, which leaves you more befuddled than when you started. And it may be the hour that you spend on a Greek translation in which you have 2 lines to show at the end. In all these moments, what I would like for you to remember, what we all want you to remember, is that you're here because you have the intellectual and the personal makeup, the curiosity, the need to make sense of the world, the desire to challenge yourself, the drive that makes you a Johnny. Now, you're joining a very special place, a place that is steeped in history and tradition, but it is also cutting-edge modern. And you join an incredible group and an illustrious line of our alumni. Now, many of you probably know that we're the 3rd oldest higher education institution in the country. This institution is older than the nation by almost 100 years. It was founded as a secondary institution of learning the same year Peter the Great became Russian Tsars. It became a college when the Marriage of Figaro premiered in Paris and the Treaty of Paris was signed, 3 years before the US Constitution was written and 5 years before the French Revolution. Hawthorne Hall served as a field hospital during the Civil War, and out on the front lawn, you will find a visible reminder to the sacrifices of the men of this college. At that time, they were all men, that they made for this country and its allies during the Great War, World War I. And during all those years, St. John's continued its mission to educate. And then, as you all know, the college changed curricular course in 1937 when it instituted the new program, the reason that you are all here. It's a great books curriculum, but what it does is it actually takes the liberal arts and sciences seriously, and it rejected the elective system that had just come in vogue at that point. And this curriculum continues to make us actually one of the most cutting edge, one of the most modern colleges. We're interdisciplinary and have an integrated curriculum that are our hallmarks. Our pedagogy is what others strive to create: student-driven class discussion, the flipped classroom, the self-driven learner. These are all educational catchphrases many of you have probably heard during high school, but we have implemented those long ago. You and your classmates are in charge of your own learning. To quote another college's learned provost, education is not given, it is earned. And nowhere is that truer than here. The maxim and our approach are both liberating and daunting at the same time. The 4 years at St. John's will change you as a person, as a thinker. They may either change or reinforce your career aspirations, your life's trajectory. And over the decades, since the new program has started, St. John's has educated, as I told you, an illustrious array of people: a sitting prime minister, the founder of a major record label, a media magnate, countless award-winning writers and novelists, top lawyers, successful entrepreneurs, neurosurgeons, web designers. The world is open to all of you. You stand on the shoulders of this prior generation of students. And I should tell you that in many cases, we literally do so, because they have invested their financial resources in supporting scholarships and grants that allow the next generation, you, to come to this college. Now, they all did what we are asking you to do now, and this is enter our proverbial fitness center. Now, other colleges, I will caution you, use that analogy, but it fits us so perfectly. And I don't mean Temple Inglehart. Don't be disappointed there. But I mean the classrooms, where we've actually put the best personal trainers in the world. I know my faculty will probably give me grief over that analogy, but it is true, our faculty and the program authors. Now, just like in a fitness center, you now have your membership card. The book attests to that. But you are the ones who has to use it. It's up to you to take advantage of the exercise equipment, to challenge yourself, to stretch your thinking, and to help those around you do the same. But learning isn't just confined to a small classroom. It really happens everywhere in this institution. And that's why we're so happy that you're also living on campus, because it's these chance encounters that generate new ideas and insights. And that's also why it is so important that you get to know each other. Now I want you to look around. I need you to actually move your head to look to the right, look to the left, look behind you, look in front of you. Some of those people, you may not have met them yet, will become friends for life. Some you never really get to know while you're here, but once you're an alum, you will run into them and strike up a new relationship. What binds you together is this joint experience here at St. John's, a liberal arts college like none other. And it is that experience that will bring you together despite all of your differences. And in fact, it is your diversity in spirit and background that will enrich each other's conversation and each other's learning. Now, let me conclude by saying, dive in. Throw yourself into the college experience. And don't forget to call on all of us, upper class students, members of the faculty, any member of the administrative team. We are here to support you, to help you stretch yourself, exercise a little harder, and to find yourself more deeply. I want you to relish this moment as it truly starts your education at St. John's. And from now on, onward to the next chapter in your life. Let me thank you for joining us all here today, especially in the heat and the sun. The procession will move over to the plaza. First, the members of the faculty party, then followed by the students. I ask that our guests remain in place until everyone has processed out. And now, I officially declare the college in session. Convocatum est.